Want to control your ball flight better? Today we're going to be looking at how you can hit it low, high and hit a draw and a fade, so you can get more precise into the greens, or maybe get yourself in and out of trouble. So we're on the 17th here at Sandmore. We've just been to the Open and watched loads of tour players changing their ball flight, changing the shot shape.
Yeah.
What can we do if we want to be a bit more deliberate when we're hitting, well, not just into par threes, but approach shots with our iron play?
I think the better the player is, generally the better they are at controlling distance, trajectory and shape. Certainly into the greens, because they should maybe start to think about moving the ball towards a flag, high shots to front pins, low shots to back pins.
Yeah, so here we've got a back right pin, so actually if you want to be safest, you better kind of trying to start up the left and fade it in.
Yeah.
Lose all that chunk of the green.
I think the first thing to think about is, just trying to understand how you move the ball, how you change the ball flight. So if you were hitting a fade, I think the best way to sort of show this would be, if the club is our target line, then you want your swing path to be left of target, because that's going to make the ball curve out to the right. But you want your club face angle to be left of the target, but right of the path, because that means the ball is going to start left, the face is open to the path, so the ball's going to curve right, but it's not open to the target, so it's not going to go right.
Yeah, so the club face isn't kind of over here. If people say here open, they think like open to the target, but it's actually open to the path.
Absolutely.
And when we talk path, we're talking about basically where the club is moving.
Yeah, like you swing direction. So your mate who's over the top has a left swing direction. Your mate who hits a snap hook generally has a right swing direction. The key to controlling the shape is managing the face angle. That's the most important thing. If you're trying to fade, you want your face to point left of the flag, but you want your swing direction to be even further, and that will create the spin axis tilt, or the side spin that gets the ball starting left and spinning right. If we want to play a draw, it's basically exactly the same, but on the other side. So you want your swing path or swing direction out to the right of the target line. You want the club fade to be right of the target line but closed to the swing path, and again that creates a side spin or the spin axis tilt, which gets the ball to spin left.
I think it's interesting you said about the face being the most important, because I think most of the time people would just think about their swing direction.
Yes.
How would someone work on like knowing where the face angle is?
So in lessons as a coach, it's very easy to get someone to move their swing direction. It's quite a simple thing to understand that if you're slicing it, you're swinging too far left, you need to swing more right. But where people fall down is not understanding that if I swing more right, that's great, but if I don't get the face closed, the ball's just going to go so far right, it just doesn't make sense. So you just go back to swinging left again.
Yeah.
And that's why people really struggle to fix the slice or fix the hook, because there's always an intermediate period where your shots are almost worse because your face angle's now wrong completely. So I mean, I love practicing like this, and you'll be sick of me putting sticks out in the ground.
He does love a stick.
I do love a stick in the ground. So what I do is I put a stick in the ground on my target line, so I know that a fade wants to start left of the stick and then sort of fade back to the flag. So having a visual target out there in front of me, which is probably only 3 or 4 yards out in front of me, gives me a really good feeling and a bit of awareness of how far left I need to swing and how far left I need to get my club face relative to the target. What I'll do is I'll set this up on the range. I'll get 5 balls, I'll hit 5 fades, and after every shot I basically like stop and reflect on, right, that ball started here, it finished here, which means my face was either, your face can only be too closed good or too open. There's only 3 options. So just by thinking, right, the path on that was good, but my face was too open, or my path was good, my face was too shut, or whatever, you can start to like put a feeling to the result. So when I feel like my hands get to this point, that generally results in the ball doing this. And that's really how you learn. That's, how to control your flight. So a big fade, I'm going to swing more left and hold the face more open. A small fade, I'm going to swing a little bit left, hold the face a little bit open. There's no like scientific, your wrist does this and you swing like that. This is a feel thing massively. So this is something you've got to go out and like earn out of the dirt almost, more than you can just go and, right, here's your 3 steps to be a master hooker of the ball sort of thing. So I'll hit a fade first. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna align myself slightly left. I'm gonna try and swing along the line of my feet, and I'm gonna try and hold the face open to my swing direction. Hopefully that starts the ball left and fades it back to the right. Have some of that.
It's like you've done that before.
Oh, short. Oh no.
Just picked the wrong club there.
So I've got the wrong club, but that was like,
That was a nice fade.
that was the shape. We got the shape.
You have to hit a draw to reach the green, I think.
Yeah. So that's fine. I'm gonna keep the same club. And so my draw, I'm basically just doing the exact opposite. So I'm gonna shut my stance. I'm gonna swing along the line of my feet, and I'm gonna try and shut the face relative to my swing direction. But I'm not gonna over close it to the point where it goes left of my stick.
Yeah.
Because if it does that, then I'm going to get a ball that starts left, goes further left, and like I'm going to have nightmares about that for the rest of the week. So shut my stance, swing in that direction, try and get the face a fraction shut. Just overdone that. Oh, just overcooked it. The distance was better, definitely had the shape, but that'd be a shot where I go, right, well, my face was too closed there for what I was trying to do, so I would hit another one where I try and hold it, not close it as much, or hold it a little bit more open, and just, all we're trying to do is get the feeling. What does the feeling feel like? And write that down in a notebook that you have in your bag, so when you're on the course and you go, right, and hit a fade, what does it feel like?
Yeah.
Well, it feels like I shut this and I feel like that, and that's sort of it.
So what if we were looking into different trajectories?
Yes, so, and this will be more that what people put into play generally on the course, because people can generally get away with playing the whole life without having to hook it or fade it, but hitting it higher and lower is probably, just being into wind, you have to hit it low, or being downwind, you might want to hit it higher or whatever.
Chipping out from behind a tree.
If you're, if it was you, if you're way offline and you've got to hit it over the trees or under the trees to get back in play, then this is a good one to know. So what we're trying to do when we're controlling trajectory is control the angle of attack and loft. Those are your two key things. If I want to hit it lower, I want a steeper angle of attack and less loft. So for me, that's just simply moving the ball back in my stance, moving my hands forward, and then trying to finish my swing with never letting my hands get above my shoulders. And what that generally does for me is that makes me present less loft, so the ball comes out lower and never gets up in the air very much.
I think it's important to think of it as like steepening it and stuff going that way, because it can be really easy to just shut the face down.
Yes.
And hit it left when you're trying to hit it low.
Yeah, I think so all of this stuff is relative to a square face. I'm trying to do as much as possible without impacting my face angle relative to the flag. So I might move the ball back, I might move my hands forward, but I'm doing all of that whilst keeping the face pointing at target, not just closing the face down. Yes, I've taken loft off, but I've now got a non-functional face angle, which is going to cost me trouble. So, ball back, hands forward, and then I'm going to swing and keep my follow through quite low. That's just not the right shot here. That was actually quite good. I'm amazed. That's going to look.
Run that into that.
That is going to look thin on camera, but that was actually pretty good. That was really extreme. So then, if I want to hit a high shot, I'm looking for a more shallow angle of attack. I'm looking to present more loft. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the ball forwards, and then I'm going to almost try and release the club a little bit earlier, get the club passing my hands a bit sooner, and finish with my hands higher. Now, that might make me hit it a little bit further often, so you want to be mindful of that. But the ball forwards, earlier release, maybe open the face a fraction, and then a nice high hands finish.
The difference in ball flight between those two shots was
Pretty radical.
pretty extreme.
As a coach and a very average player, I'm going to practice those 4 shots in every practice session I do, because whether or not I use them on the golf course or not, I think it just gives me a better awareness on my stock shot of where the club face is pointing, where's my swing direction, where's my angle of attack, and where's my loft. And really, those are the 4 things you have to control to hit the ball close.
And I also think, don't just think you can go out and try and do this on the course straight away.
Yes.
You should be giving this a bit of practice before you try and do it, especially in a competition.
Absolutely. You sort of don't want to have your first go at it being the Sunday Club Champs medal off the back tees where it really matters, because so much of this, you know, a degree here and a degree there can be 10 yards left or right. If you haven't hit that shot many, many times, you probably won't know what it feels like to have that face 1 degree close to path to get that 5-yard draw, or so on and so on and so on. So, you know, these are really fine margins, and this is like how to take your iron play to the next level, not just I'm going to hit it at the green, I'm going to actually try and hit some golf shots now. So you want to, you know, at least 50% of your practice on the range should be, you know, 50% block practice, technical, whatever, and then 50%, right, let me see if I can control my flight differently with all my irons, all my wedges. Because as I say, even if you don't choose to use it on the course, your awareness of those 4 key things is going to make you a better ball player. Do you want to hit some?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was actually good.
That was good.
Maybe I should hit a fade more.
You're like surprised.
I definitely need more than an 8 iron. It's
That's
just
all
weird.
right.
I don't know why I'm trying to reach for the same.
This is just this is an exercise of shot shape and controlling flight, not necessarily hitting the green. So draw. That's a big tick in the box. No, not having that. I mean, that was a lovely golf shot.
It just went.
But it went dead straight, yeah. So that was pretty good, but probably your swing path not right enough to offset the impact, to get the ball spinning left. Move the stick.
Move the stick, or I will be clattering it with how straight that went. Low.
Low.
Right, stuck. So keep the face square, but take the loft up.
Yes.
It's a
So
good tip.
ball back, hands forward, short follow through. Nice.
Maybe I should just hit that for
Why don't
all
you
approach shots.
That was pretty good, wasn't it? and actually, you know, just watching this and listening to this, this is quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually I feel like I'm striking the ball better doing this than actually.
There's certainly an argument, you know, Jim Furyk's won so much money on the PGA Tour with a frankly ugly swing. But he is an elite ball flight controller. Lee Trevino as well, you know, someone who, not a very aesthetic, perfect, beautiful swing, but amazing at controlling his ball, and, you know, one of the all-time greats. Doing this, it's fun, and it's going to make you a better player, and it gets you out your own head of your technique. So, like, I know so many golfers, you know, they turn up for lessons, and I say, all right, well, what's up with your game? And they go, oh, well, my swing's a bit like this, and I think I'm doing that. And I go, tell me what's wrong with your shots, because that's really what matters. You don't go in the clubhouse and say, oh, I made some really pretty swings today. Your mates don't care, do they?
I shot 95, but my swing looked great.
Yeah, exactly. No one cares. It's all about the number. So controlling your ball, you know, having good command over that flight is what's going to make you lower your scores. High. This one should be no problem. Ball forward.
I'm not very good at ball forward.
Earlier release, high hands finish. Nice. Pretty good.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
I'll take that.
That's pretty good. And, you know, but it's all practice, isn't it? You know, it's just reps. Like, you've got to, you know, spend more time on the range doing this instead of all those funky drills you do. And you might find that on the golf course, you know, your shots are a bit better.
You can control it better, and hopefully your scores will come down.
That's it.